All right, welcome everybody. I'm sorry we're starting a little bit late. Our work session ran a little over. Welcome to this regular meeting of the Board of Education, Monday, November 21st, 2011. It is 6:08 p.m. All board members are present. I'd like to first start by us all stating the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Well, welcome everyone. We will begin the meeting with a lot of recognitions tonight. In this section, there, as I said, there are a number of things we are recognizing. If everyone would stay until the last of those recognitions, and then after that we will allow a minute or two for those who wish to leave to actually leave. But first we have Terrific Tigers. Dr. Buck.
Yes, and it's a pleasure to welcome everyone this evening for our Terrific Tigers. These are students who have been selected to receive this award based on service to others, leadership, and scholarship. And
we didn't approve the agenda.
You might want to do that.
We might. I'm so sorry. My fault completely. My fault in my rush to get started. We have an agenda that we need to approve. I'm so sorry. Anyone care to?
So moved.
Thank
Second.
you. Second. All right. Any discussion then of the agenda? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right. Agenda is approved. Dr. Welk.
Okay. Students that are selected for Terrific Tigers are selected based on service to others, leadership, and scholarship. And so as we recognize each of those students for November, we would ask that the parents stand at your place and so that we can recognize your contribution to these students as well. So we'll begin with our Terrific Tigers.
First up this evening from Alma-Schroeder Elementary, Tyron Jackson, 4th grade, son of Givani Dockery. Tyron is a tireless worker for the good of the school and has come up with several new initiatives, including expansion of the Go Green recycling team into a grounds team after he recognized the need for cleanup on the recess grounds. Tyron organized several classmates who regularly gave up their recesses to clean up the Alma-Schroeder school grounds. Tyron demonstrates significant leadership potential as he is an excellent student and a very motivated worker. Keep watching Cape Girardeau for Tyron Jackson.
You got one behind you there.
We have two from Blanchard Elementary this month. From October, our holdover was Derek Applewhite, 3rd grade, son of Veronica Applewhite. Derek epitomizes what it means to be a professional student, great friend, and all-around awesome kid. He is constantly noticed every day by all of his teachers for his good choices. Derek follows instructions, does his best during all lessons, and is a model to all the other students in class. Derek is something special, and all his teachers look forward to seeing where his great choices take him in life.
All set. Here we go, Derek.
You got one right behind you. Well, stay here for a second.
Also from Blanchard is Cade McNeely, 2nd grade, son of Melissa and Ryan McNeely. Cade is the model student that every teacher desires. His behavior and attitude towards school reflects Blanchard Elementary's motto, "The School with a Heart." Cade's high academic success is due to his great work ethic.
There you go. Okay, nice smile for the cameras. Here we are. And one more time. Maybe another one after that. Who knows?
Stay there a second.
Representing Clifford Elementary is Kiera Wyatt, 4th grade, daughter of Kimberly Jackson and Sean Wyatt. Kiera is a hardworking student who always tries her best. She is also considerate of others. Kiera is a great addition to the class. Way to go, Kiera.
One more time here.
Whoops. Come back a second. We got one more picture. Everybody.
Thank you.
From Franklin Elementary, Yunus Abdallah, 4th grade, son of Asha and Sidi Haji. From Jefferson Elementary, Jaylee Brumbaugh, 2nd grade, daughter of Amy Brumbaugh. Jefferson is extremely proud of Jaylee. She is a very responsible student who is always respectful of teachers and other students. Jaylee gives her best at all times and works hard to complete the work given to her. Jaylee is a very caring young lady who is kind, trustworthy, and just plain sweet. Plus, she has a great mom who gives Jaylee lots of support.
Okay. Yeah. One more time for me. There we go. Stay there, Chief.
Recognized by Central Middle School, tonight we have Julie Castle, 6th grade, daughter of Christina Castle. Julie is an awesome person to be around. She is always safe, respectful, and responsible. She truly has a love for learning as well. If I had to describe her in 3 words, I would say she is one cool kid. Keep up the good work, Julie.
I understand.
All right. Nice smile, Julie. Here we go. Now again. Thank you.
From Central Junior High, Madison Boyer, 8th grade, daughter of Robin and Eric Boyer. Madison serves as an officer for Student Council and is a member of the Arts and Reading Club. She is a voracious reader, loves animals, and is always willing to volunteer. She is kind and enthusiastic and has wonderful manners. Madison is a joy to have in class, and we are proud to have her as our terrific Tiger. Representing Central High School, Kelsey Martin, 12th grade, daughter of Christine and Kevin Martin. Kelsey is delightful. She is a most cooperative, disciplined, organized, and motivated young lady that strives to understand the material, not just earn a grade. She is an enthusiastic participant in class activities and extremely supportive of her peers. Students like Kelsey will help keep this country on top of international affairs with their hard work, discipline, and motivation.
One more time.
Move too quick.
And representing the Alternative Education Center, Datavian Richardson, 12th grade, son of Renitha Burton and Tracy Richardson. Ta always does everything expected of him. He completes his work on time and correctly. He always has a good word for his fellow students. He is very strong in his moral values, and his will is strong as well. He obtains great pleasure from studying and is responsible, which will be of essential importance for him in the future. Congratulations.
You want to take another? Yeah. Is that it?
That's it.
You want to line them up?
Yeah.
You all want to move across the front here? Just walk right over here.
There you go. You stand right next to her. You stand there. There you go.
You all want to, with them falling behind kind of?
I think that would work out well.
Move that up here.
Not in the front row. Okay. How about some smiles right here, folks? I'm gonna count to 3, okay? 1, 2, 3. Now again for me, another one. Other folks want to shoot too, so stay put. 1, 2, 3. Stay there now.
I know, this is.
Good job.
Yeah.
Can I leave those downstairs?
There's any green.
There was one in a red folder and one in a green folder. Do I need to go look? Do you want to do the proclamation next and I'll go down?
Yeah. We'll just change it.
We could go ahead and do the proclamation, and I'll come back to that.
Okay.
If you're right.
Okay. All right. We next have a proclamation regarding American Education Week. Dr. Welker, would you like to go through that?
Last week was proclaimed as American Education Week, and as a part of that, Mayor Rediger signed a proclamation which I would like to read to you real quickly. We got some, I think, some photographs of that also that we had put in the paper, but with some of our terrific Tigers. Proclamation, whereas American Education Week is an opportunity to recognize the accomplishments and the needs of our local public schools, and whereas our public schools have enabled generations of American families to build upon the lessons of the past to achieve the dreams of tomorrow, and whereas America's system of public education relies not only on the skills and dedication of teachers, school administrators, and educational support staff, but also on the encouragement and support of the entire community, including businesses, churches, and residents, and whereas the local members of the Missouri State Teachers Association are joining teachers, students, and educational organizations around the nation in special activities in honor of American Education Week, now therefore be it resolved that I, Harry E. Rediger, Mayor of the City of Cape Girardeau, Missouri, along with members of the local Community Teachers Association, do hereby proclaim the week of November 13th to the 19th, 2011, to be American Education Week, and ask parents, students, and civic leaders to join in the nation's salute to public education. In witness hereof, Harry E. Rediger, Mayor of Cape Girardeau. It always works out, it seems that the City Council has their meetings on the same night as board meetings, so Harry could not be with us this evening, but he did take the time to meet with us last week, and we certainly appreciate the support from the Mayor and from the community. American Education Week is a time to recognize public schools across the country. We certainly appreciate the support that the community and certainly parents give to our public school system. And so we want to again thank the Mayor for providing us with the proclamation.
Thank you. Next, regarding recognitions, we have the Alma Schroeder Character Education Promising Practices Award.
Yes, Alma Schroeder again has won an award on the national level, Promising Practices Award winners. And I believe we have Ms. Julia Understall with us. Is Julia here? There you are. If you'd come forward, and Ms. Ruth Ann Orr to talk about the Promising Practices, the ABC 123 Anti-Bullying Club is for me.
I'm going to let the ABC members come over here and set your board up while I talk. With us we have Kareem Shaheen, Sammy Reeser, Mackenzie Williams, Grace Sanders, and Jack Maxton, who are the co-founders of Alma Schroeder's ABC 123 Anti-Bullying Club. These students were second graders when they unfortunately saw an instance of bullying, but Ms. Understall has done a wonderful job of instilling in the students that bystanders should unite. And so as bystanders and witnesses to a bullying incident, they came forward to report to her and also to express a need. They felt it would be very powerful to have peers form an anti-bullying club to ask other peers not to bully. So last year, as second graders, they had a business meeting, and Ms. Understall, you met with
Mr. Reeser, Sammy's dad.
and designed these T-shirts that they are wearing,
I met with them.
and priced them, and we sold them to other students. So these were T-shirts that were available to other Alma Schroeder students. They have also met with Miss before that, Miss Rebecca Gentry, who's with us, and developed a song that they have for their anti-bullying club and wrote the song, and they have performed that several times. And this year you see behind you the storyboard that they are developing, and we've had Miss Susie Reinagle join us, and they are writing a book. And so the goal for Anti-Bullying Club this next semester is to use our writing process. So you'll see the writing process that Ms. Hinkebine was so kind to have printed up for us. And you see the beginnings of the book. So they learned a lot about writing a book, that you don't just start writing a book from page 1 and write to page 10. We have gone through the writing process, and I think you are at the green part, is that correct? Which is the revising section, with the hope of using the expertise of Kareem's mama, Shaheen, who is an expert in computers and will be helping us actually publish it in a very professional format and presenting that book then to the other students within Alma Schroeder, and then hopefully if anyone else would like to take us up on presenting at their schools, presenting too. But we're very, very proud at the collaborative efforts that we've had with the students, with our encore teachers, with our expert teachers in literacy, and I'm just extremely proud, as always, of Ms. Understall undertaking a meeting with these students. You meet at least once a week to do something within the building. Mainly it's been focused this past few weeks on writing the book, but we're very honored by the National Character Education Foundation for receiving this promising practices, and we're shooting for a National School of Character within the next 12 months.
Well, first off, I want to say how proud we are, students, of you for taking the initiative to do this, and certainly thank you to the staff, Ms. Understall and Ms. Orr and the other staff that's been involved. We certainly appreciate and we're proud of what you have done with this program. We do have some certificates that we would like to pass out to you at this time, so if I could get Mrs. Kinder to help us pass these out. As I call your name, if you would come forward. Jack Maxton. Is Jack here? Samuel Reeser. Grace Sanders. Kareem Shaheen. Mackenzie Williams. Miss Orr, we have a certificate for you as well. Miss Ruth Ann Orr. You thought you were going to sit down, didn't you? Miss Julia Understall. Is Ms. Rebecca Gentry here? Did she make this evening? We're going to get her to come up too if she's here. There you go. And Ms. Susan Reinagel, is she here? There she is. Again, thank all of you for your part in this program. You make us very proud that you are a part of Cape Public Schools. Sure.
Nope.
And we'll get everyone to put their certificates right below your, let's not cover up what's on your shirt. It's okay. If you bring yours up just a little bit. Real quick. There you go. Okay. I'll take it on 3. So that's, you start smiling on 2, okay? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and again. 1. All smiles. 2, 3. Stay there. Parents want to take pictures.
And there's one more recognition. Dr. Welker?
You've obviously seen Mr. Robertson taking pictures at these meetings. The last set of awards that we have actually involve Mr. Robertson, and they are part of the what's called MOSPRA Awards, or the Missouri, I forgot the acronym now, I don't remember the.
Missouri Schools Public Relations Association.
Right, that. Missouri Public Public Relations Association. I'm going to get that right one of these days. They had a conference recently, and we actually entered some of the competitions, and we won in 2 categories. First award is, and we have a certificate here for Mr. Steve Robertson for his Faces of Success brochure. I don't know if you have seen this or not, but it is was put together in 2010, and it highlights different graduates from Cape Public Schools. And Mr. Robertson was instrumental in getting this put together, and it actually won a state award. And so we would like to recognize him this evening as well. Mr. Robertson? Are you going to take a picture of yourself?
Yeah.
Here, I'll get it.
It's set on
Bill, take a picture.
self-timer.
Are you sure you know what you're doing? Tried. Sure, I'm sure. It took 15 minutes last time.
You
Got the lens cap off?
all you gotta do is zoom it, press halfway, and then the rest.
One more time.
Yeah.
I'll drink.
Well, that concludes our recognition
No,
for
I got
tonight.
one more.
Doesn't.
That was just one of the MOSPRA awards. I'm not going to say
there's
what
another
MOSPRA stands for again because I have too much trouble with that.
So
But
sorry.
no, we have one more award. Actually, another competition that we entered was the result was an advertising competition, and one of our ads actually won the competition. And it was a picture. I don't have a copy of it. I don't guess we have a copy of that somewhere, but it was actually a picture of our marching band. It had a reflection of some of the band members in it. Maybe you've seen it in some of our ads, but it actually won a state award And I want to recognize several people for their part in putting together the ad and actually taking the picture. Mr. John Scheibe actually took the picture, one of our band parents, and really does a good job. I think takes a lot of pictures for our marching band. And so I want to recognize him. We have a certificate. I think he could not be here this evening, but want to give him credit for his part in that. Mr. Chris Oliveira, one of our technology staff members, helped put the advertisement together. And, of course, Mr. Steve Robertson, who also worked on the putting the ad together. So this is the 2011 Mosper Award of Commendation for Marching Ahead with Distinction magazine advertisement. So if Mr. Robertson would again come forward. Is Chris here?
Yes.
Okay, if we could give those two out as well.
I've got my own printing press.
I didn't sign those. I didn't get those earlier to sign.
You didn't sign them?
I don't, yeah, Chris and Steve, I don't think I got to sign your thingies.
They were in there.
It's kind of amateur hour tonight, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I think that concludes our recognitions now.
I'll try to catch you before you leave. They're not official without. Or that's enough? That's all the.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, that does conclude recognitions for tonight. Thank you all for coming. Thanks parents and kids for all what you're doing, and adults as well. I'll give you all a minute to. Well, I didn't.
Speedy
I didn't
Kinder.
see those.
What? Speedy Kinder.
I know. I'm rushing. Who's that?
You know, that trend, I had to keep it rolling me every year. Of course, you only have one section, so I have it. It's not clear, but then after I took the picture, so then you always, that's when they start thinking, come down and say, well, you know what you gotta do. And I did, I hit him. Yeah. Something did it. He's doing it. We became this friend. He's probably got it set back. So I'm looking at it. Is it on manual or I urge his wife to pull it down and click. I eulogize it.
And then there's over, where's that other one?
I finally got it. Put your little head and switch. Not waiting to sit down.
I think she handed it to me. For some reason, that badge did not get signed. Okay. Next on the agenda, we have information, proposals, or comments from the audience. First, we have a construction update from McCarthy.
I believe we have John Highbreder from McCarthy with us, and would let him give us an update on the construction. Do you want to come to the...
Thank you very much. Two parts tonight. One is to give you information on where the project is at right now with the ongoing construction, and also just a brief snapshot of what lies ahead then as far as the next year and a half of kind of where we're at. Right now, district-wide, we are currently working on completing the shop drawings for Central Junior High School, Central Middle School, and the classroom addition for that work, which includes temperature controls, security, and fire alarm district-wide. McCarthy met last Tuesday with the trade contractors and Josh Crow, the high school superintendent, to establish the winter break schedules there and coordinate work activities and dates at the high school. The HVAC controls work, temperature controls, in the high school is scheduled to start the 5th of December to renovate that work there to put the high school back on a better operating parameter for environmental controls. The security rough-in at the junior high school starts on December 5th, and the school dude maintenance supplement program is scheduled to be up and running the beginning of December. Those elements are all part of the Johnson Controls district-wide HVAC control scope. At Franklin Elementary, the first floor of the classroom building is framed out. The mechanical, electrical, plumbing rough ends on levels 1 of the classroom building are 98% complete. The drywall is scheduled to start this week with the inset of temperature control and environmental controls to do that drywall work as we move into winter with having temporary enclosure. The roof is now complete on the classroom addition, and we're working on the cafeteria area. Exterior block is ongoing, and brick and temporary heat is, as I mentioned, starting up here in the next few days. At the classroom addition at the senior high school, the structural steel erection is now complete. The general contractor, Brock Miller, is currently working on the structural steel detailing and the joist installation. Decking for those floors will start tomorrow, and then the second floor slab on metal deck is scheduled to be placed next week. Chiller pad modifications have been made. The new chiller is scheduled to be delivered the 15th of December, and McCarthy's working on the mechanical electrical coordination process for space allocation so that those contractors move in and install their work with the correct locations right the first time, as each contractor respects the other contractor's work as far as how the space is utilized and the sequence of those installations. At the Performing Arts Center, Subsurface has mobilized, and they are doing the ground improvements there with the stone columns, foundation upgrades for the soil remediation. That work is ongoing. They're about 50% complete and should finish that work within the next 2 weeks. The general contractor, Sides Construction, is starting foundation work there and earthwork. We'll have to carefully work here as we enter this fall season with dewatering and keeping the site to where contractors can safely and effectively keep working as the onset of winter comes in. And then all of the material submittals on those projects are all now coming in for approval by the designers in the district to assure that the materials that are installed meet the specification and construction requirements of the project. At the library, we kicked off that project on the 16th. A few of you were there for the groundbreaking for these summer 2012 projects. We appreciate that. The majority of the structural foundations are complete. The slab on grade was poured the week of, actually it'll pour next week, and structural steel is projected to arrive on site yet right before Christmas, so we'll start the steel erection on the library. The underground starn piping there is ongoing for the next couple of weeks, and along with sanitary sewer work and the rough ends below grade. So all those projects are moving along on schedule for summer 2012 completion, with the exception of the Performing Arts Center, which is scheduled to complete the end of 2012. So that's a brief snapshot of where we're at with the construction. Tonight you'll be considering later the award of the 3 contracts for the middle school. With the completion of that award, the middle school will be the last major school project and represents that we would be what we call bought out or under contract 97% of the work for the project. We're essentially through the work that's of substance. The remaining pieces, we just bid Thursday, the rigging and curtains for the performing arts, also the orchestra pit cover. That represents about 1% of the remaining work. In January, we'll bid the demolition and site restoration of the existing building at Franklin Elementary School, and then putting the new playgrounds and recreation area back in place at that building. That'll represent about another 1% of the work. And then the final 1% in the near future will be the seats for the performing arts and the sound system for performing arts. And that would put us completely under contract. So then we're just at our estimated budgets or slightly below for those projects. I appreciate everybody's work, Niels, Dr. Welkers, and all the staff to work very closely to bring these projects in to meet the budgets. Now upcoming, the work efforts by the district to work and the teachers with summer 2011 to get everybody back in school. I think we've learned from that. And then we have an even bigger task to plan to execute summer of 2012 work. But I look forward to that. A number of key people are focused on the planning for that, along with the Neil's folks. And we look forward to a successful 2012 completion of the remaining work. So that's a very brief summary, but if you have any questions, I'd be pleased to answer.
Did you have a question? Oh, you had mentioned the performance hall being
Performing
scheduled
arts.
for the completion being scheduled for the end of next year, but that was the original completion date, but I thought it was.
Originally, we had targeted a November, but with the start of activities that were a little bit later than anticipated,
Right.
we're currently scheduled for the end of 2012.
Oh, okay. I thought it was actually beyond that, but you're.
That's our focus right now,
Yeah.
and we're waiting for some final information on steel deliveries and some other critical planning items, and we'll keep you updated.
Okay. Any other questions?
Thanks, Jim.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Next, we have program evaluations. First being the gifted education, and Ms. Ring.
I think I actually have the next 4 program evaluations.
Yeah, you're going to be up there for a while.
Yeah, I'm going to get real comfortable. The first one is the gifted education program. To hit the highlights, we currently have 203 students who are in our gifted program. We expect those numbers to go up by the end of the year because we are going into our testing of students phase. The gifted committee recently approved several who had expressed interest for the testing phase, so we think that number will go up. Some of the strengths of the program, the differentiated instruction that we're able to provide to the students, creative educational opportunities. Our curriculum has recently been revised. Concerns are meeting the minimal state requirements. Right now at elementary, to meet all 5 of them, we are meeting the state minimal requirements, but that becomes increasingly difficult. And once they reach the high school, that also is a difficult task, which leads to one of the program goals that I wrote of exploring exceeding the minimal state requirements for the gifted program. And I included that partially at some of our parents have requested and expressed a concern that they wish their child could participate more in the gifted program or have more time. And so as a result of that, I listed that as something to do for the upcoming year. We are in the process of updating our handbook and revising all of our procedures, studying those, so the gifted committee is going to be pretty busy this year.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions?
Questions?
Do we still fund 5%? Is that what they?
No, the state, when they took away the funding as a line item, they kind of leave that up to the districts. We have kind of held a little bit to that rule, but it's not a hard and fast rule. We don't turn in numbers to the state any longer.
Did they?
Right, it's all together in the funding formula. It's no longer a separate item. Okay, the second one is English language learners. This program has experienced quite an increase. Last year, at the end of the year, we had 66 students, and so far already this year we have 89. And we have several that are in process of being evaluated, so I think that number is actually going to go up. We recently added Ms. Barb Kitchen as an ELL teacher, and so she is able to help us out. One of the struggles that we were encountering before we added her as a teacher was that in past years we have not had every building that has had English language learners within that building, so it was easier with travel purposes for our teachers to get around. This year, for the first time since I have been here, we have English language learner students in every building in our district. So like I said, we've added a teacher, and that is working out really well. And she's doing a great job. We're really proud of her. Some of the strengths are implementation of the individual instructional plan that has to be updated every year. So our teachers are in the process of updating the students from last year, plus writing new instructional plans for our 23 new students that we have received. Our after-school tutoring, last year we were able to have tutoring at CMS, junior high, and the high school, but with the addition of the teacher, we're going to be able to expand into the elementaries, and we think that that's going to be really important, and we're in the planning phase of that, which was one of the goals that we had written. Also, let's see, the summer school, we have typically been able to offer summer school. In the past years, we've had it at high school, at junior high, at middle school, and last year we were able to offer it at the elementary, but that was only because we didn't have enough high school students that wanted to participate. This year we are in high hopes that we'll be able to offer summer school across the board. Teachers feel like that this has been an excellent opportunity for our students. And again, the additional teacher is a strength too. We still struggle sometimes with parent communications due to the large number of languages that we have and the language barriers that we experience. Some of the languages that we have, you don't readily have translations available. It's not a common language in this area, and that sometimes can create some difficulties. We also have larger number of students, so we're serving more students. We want to continue to provide our excellent educational opportunities, as I've alluded to, expanding the tutoring in the summer school. One of the things that the state would really like to see all districts with ELL students is really making it a welcoming and parental involvement opportunities. And we are planning some of those. We have coming up first week of December an after-school program where all of our ELL teachers will be present, and we've opened it up to any regular education staff member who would like to come and either ask questions or talk to them about effective strategies within their classroom for our English language learners. And then improving our district AMAOs. The AMAOs are what the federal, our Title III, we are based upon those. We have 3 of them. And it is teaching English, proficient in English, and meeting our MAP scores. And of the 71 districts that have a large enough cohort, only 5 of them are meeting all 3 of them. So this is an area statewide that we're really struggling on, but we want to make a real concerted effort to make sure that we improve our AMAOs. Any questions about the ELL program? Okay.
Next is
All right, our preschool program, currently we have 100 students, and we actually have 63 students on the waiting list. So we have 63 currently on the waiting list. One of the things that we were very proud of was of the students last year who participated in the kindergarten screening. The pre-test, the average score was 56.98. And we were able to increase the post score at the end of the year to 81.98, which we thought was a pretty significant increase. We would like to be able to provide a preschool in each elementary building, and that's reflective of our CSIP plan, that we would like to do that. Funding does continue to be an issue because that would be a district expansion program to be able to. We currently have 3, and this year they are at Clifford, at Jefferson, and at Blanchard. Any questions about the preschool? All right, parents as teachers. All right, currently we're serving 242 children. That is actually up a little bit over last year. We have 2 full-time parent educators. And last year, from the 2009-2010, if you look back on there, we cut those numbers almost in half, but that was because we had a reduction in staff. The state funding became very, very uncertain at the end of that year. And so currently we only have 2 full-time parent educators, but they're still able to see, as I said, 242 children, and their focus is birth to age 3. So as you can see, they're very busy ladies, making their way across town, meeting with parents and planning community events. In fact, we have one coming up in December at the public library, and we have some guest readers that we're going to ask to come in and read with the children. And it'll be a reading activity for our parents and our families. State funding does continue to be a little uncertain. It's probably more stable this year than it has been in the past couple years, but it does continue to be a concern for us. We are facilitating a new curriculum. DESE and the PAT National Center wanted it to be implemented by 2012, January 1st of 2012, and we actually began implementation as soon as we started school this year. That way our families don't have any change. It was just the new curriculum, and we started it from day one. Any questions about parents as teachers? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, we have program evaluation for professional development. Dr. Copeland.
First of all, I want to compliment all the building reps for being here. They were a little nervous, I don't know, and asked if their principals could be here. And I said that they were only here to answer questions when they present the plan later on, which Ms. Barb Egbert will be doing that portion. On the professional development program itself, you will notice the cost of the program compared to last year to this year. Obviously, the funding was a big issue, and of course, because we did not have as many new teachers, the mentor protege program obviously was lower last year. This year, we were able to hire more teachers. So, program evaluation, this has been a long time in the works this fall, and they've done an excellent job on their plans. But what I do want to say is that when we go through this program evaluation and the plans later on, that they did align each of those program activities to the CSIP plan, which I thought was hugely important, that we were following in a path as to what we wanted to work on. So with that being said, obviously a strength of the program is that the district obviously is still committed to funding professional development in a district. I always like to use the analogy of, would you go to a doctor who graduated from med school in 1950 and never had 1 ounce of professional development or CEU or whatever it is? Would you go to that doctor knowing what's come about in the last 60 years? So it's kind of the same way with teachers. We need to stay up to date, and they do a great job, and I commend the district for that. Also, coming from a professional development background, I was so pleased when I came to the district and saw this professional development committee. They are so high functioning. The process flows just amazingly. I've not seen that in a lot of districts, so it was very pleasant to see that when I came on board. Okay, as I said, all of our activities are linked to CSIP goals. I do want to commend the Professional Development Committee. They do it out of the goodness of their heart, and they spend a lot of hours helping those building principals, administrators, and teachers with the development of their plans and keeping track of the people going here and there for professional development. We do use a train-the-trainer model, which is a cost savings to the district. We do have professional development days for this year that are dedicated to professional development, as well as early release days. Concerns of the program, I guess the number one concern is not us necessarily, but from a state level, and when they took away our 1% money throughout the state. So like the gifted program, that money disappeared too. It wasn't mandated, but yet the district saw the need to provide for HQT, high quality teachers. Therefore, we still fund professional development. On down through there, we are working in some of the concerns about the lack of data analysis, that professional activities actually improve, and tracing it back. They're starting to do a good job of that. We are committed to the school planning process, which you will see in the program goals, to actually be more focused in that school planning process, in what direction is each building heading, and then what professional development needs to surround those goals. Also, the last one is around data collection and analysis, so that data team process, which will lead us into not only the identification of the power standards, unwrapping them, tiered instruction, and differentiated instruction. Those will all be key words over the rest of this school year going into the next school year. Overall, I gave it an above average, and I think as we move through next school year, by the end of that school year, I foresee this program getting an excellent rating. Any questions?
Thank you very much. Okay, next we have informational reports, first being the board president's report. I just wanted to mention, I assume you all on the board saw in your email that the superintendent evaluation link is open, and that will be this one will be what you all will want to use for our evaluation for January for Dr. Welker. So just wanted to let you know that. And Beth, how long is that open?
December 2nd.
Till was there a date or?
That's the other survey.
That's that.
Wait,
Oh,
I've got it till the 9th, and then
December 9th.
we'll check to make sure that everybody's completed it.
Great.
If somebody hasn't, I'll shoot them an email and
Okay.
say, get it done.
okay. Thank you very much for that. Just a reminder there. Superintendent report, Dr. Welker.
First off, I'd like to thank Dr. Copeland and Ms. Ring for their program evaluations, and particularly while we've got the Professional Development Committee here, would like to take this opportunity to thank all of you for the hard work that you do in terms of professional development. It is, as Dr. Copeland said, a very important part of what we do is to keep current and to provide that professional development that our teachers need. So thank you for being a part of that committee. Last week had the opportunity to attend the marching band banquet, which they have every year at the end of their season to commemorate their accomplishments, and there were many accomplishments this year. They did a fantastic job. They also highlight their seniors, and this year particularly did a tribute to Mr. Neil Casey, who has announced his retirement at the end of this year. And so want to again congratulate him on that, and they did a wonderful job of honoring him, and most deservedly so. He has done a wonderful job as director of the Central Band, and would like to take this opportunity just to congratulate him one more time. A couple other things that you may have noticed in the paper. I think today there was an article about the graduation rate. The state has changed the reporting of, or how the graduation rate is reported following a federal mandate. And so I think additional information will be coming out about that in a few weeks in terms of all the rates for all the schools. I think the important thing to note is that it is a 4-year graduation rate. In other words, it'll actually be measured by the number of students that graduate in 4 years. Currently, it's possible that a student that graduated in 5 years we would still get credit for that student as far as graduation rate. As you might realize, this of course will cause that rate to go down some. Doesn't mean that our graduation rate has that we've gotten worse in terms of our graduation rate. It's just a different way of calculating that rate. And so I think for this next year they will continue to use both calculations, the new one and the old one, so that we can have some longitudinal data to show exactly how we've done.
Dr. Welker, does it allow within that 4 years a student to have the summer?
Yes, summer school and other programs that go on throughout the year do count in terms of, in other words, that can actually help in that student, but it is a 4-year graduation rate.
But I mean, even after the supposed, graduation date.
I believe
they
if
go
they,
2
I believe if
months
they
later.
go ahead and go to summer school after their graduation date, that can still count. The other thing that I just wanted to update everyone on is that we do have a dress code committee that's been working, and I believe there's a survey that has gone out or will go out maybe tomorrow, or is it going out this evening already? It's going out either today or tomorrow.
It's posted on the web now.
Is it? Okay, there is a survey that is for parents, and another survey that we're going to send out to staff regarding dress code. Would ask parents, certainly, I think they'll get a letter telling them either to go to a website and complete the survey, or they can come by and get a paper copy if they want to come by the office and pick up a paper copy. We'll also then send out a survey to all staff with a link on where to go to complete the survey. We certainly appreciate everyone's input as the committee continues its work in terms of looking at the dress code. And I think that's all I've got.
The deadline for that survey is December.
Right, the deadline for that survey, I believe, is December 2nd.
Thank you very much. Next is the Community Teachers Association report.
Good evening. Cape Central High School held its academic letters and bars ceremony on November 8th, recognizing students of academic distinction who maintained a 10.0 GPA or better in all semesters. A total of 74 sophomores, juniors, and seniors were acknowledged during the ceremony. Jefferson Elementary hosted its 3rd annual Jefferson Gives Back Day on November 12th. Because of donations from the community, families in need were able to receive winter clothing, furniture, toys, and many other household items free of charge. We would like to thank all of those in the district and community who continue to contribute every year to this event. And finally, 11 teachers from the district recently attended the Missouri State Teachers Association State Convention on November 17th and 18th in St. Louis. In addition to the assembly of delegates, we were able to attend workshops on topics such as curbing chaos, making your classroom website work for you, and using formative assessment techniques to inform instruction. We would like to thank our district for supporting our Community Teachers Association and for allowing us the opportunity to be present at our state convention. We look forward to sharing the knowledge we gained with our fellow educators. Thanks.
Thank you. Next is the Treasurer Finance Report. Ms. Clifton.
Okay, the October Treasury Report was posted, and as you can see, for the month of October, we had total expenditures of $4.597, total revenues of $2 million. I also want to bring your attention, if, as John had stated earlier, at the progress going on with the bond and all the construction. You can note on the year-to-date Treasury Report that there has been a little over 50, almost 60% of the expenditure, or of the bond dollars spent to date. So we're running right in line as far as expenditures. Is kind of tying out right where the projects are falling as well. So we're gradually getting all that taken care of. There's not, the Treasury Report's pretty well the same kind of basic. There's not been any additional changes or anything that's significant as far as that goes. If there's any specific questions.
Thank you. Next, we have board reports, legislation. Mr. Nenninger.
We don't have anything on legislation, but we've got the MSBA board report, and then I've got a couple other comments. One of the things that's going to be in the MSBA report refers to the Fair Tax Initiative. And if you'll remember this site, there's a longer version of a pro and con discussion led by Mr. Gann of a representative from the Fair Tax
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Missouri School Boards Association's Board Report for the month of November. We thank you for the opportunity to share some news and information during a few minutes of your board meeting. We begin with the effort to do away with the state income tax and replace it with a much higher state sales tax. The plan has been called the fair tax by some, but the everything tax might be a better name since it greatly expands the items and services subject to a state sales tax. Supporters of the idea are preparing to circulate initiative petitions soon with the goal of putting the so-called fair tax on next November's ballot. Former state budget director and current governmental relations consultant Jim Moody says the plan would likely result in a reduction in state revenue of at least $2 billion. And that's bad news for public schools.
Elementary and secondary education gets nearly $3 billion out of the roughly $7+ billion that's currently in the general fund. And so think about that. When we talk about at least a $2 billion shortfall, that's on a base of about $7 billion. And if you're going to have to cut services, you're going to have to cut where the money currently goes. And you know, a good portion of the money currently goes to elementary and secondary education. So I think they're in the crosshairs.
MSBA is strongly opposed to the so-called fair tax and urges citizens not to sign petitions to put it on a future ballot. The fair tax has been a major topic of discussion at MSBA's regional meetings this fall. Over the objections of some state legislators, the State Board of Education is moving ahead with an application for $60 million in federal funds to build a coordinated early childhood education system over the next 4 years. The grant would help improve and expand accessibility to quality early learning programs, especially by high-needs children before they start kindergarten. Some legislators don't like the plan because one requirement of the grant is that the state set up a rating system for preschools. State Board of Education Vice President Stan Archie told an audience at the recent MSBA annual conference, "It's critical that the state create opportunities for learning across the board and at an earlier level."
We're recognizing that there is a real value and in some ways a variable that make or break the outcome in early childhood development. So if we're not in the early childhood development business, then there is no way we can reach the long-term outcomes that we're looking for. Because we recognize there's some critical things that happen during that age in the child's development, and if we don't capture and move those in the right direction, then we could run into the possibility of always being behind. And so those are some real things. If you look at our goals, early childhood is one of our primary focuses because we recognize that long-term success depends on that.
The federal grants will support efforts to increase the number of low-income and high-needs infants, toddlers, and preschoolers who are enrolled in high-quality early learning programs. Meanwhile, the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education held a series of 5 public meetings across the state in late October to collect feedback on how the state can measure progress under the new MSIP-5 accreditation standards. The meetings are part of the process for developing the scoring guide for the new rules once they are in place. The State Board is expected to give final approval to the new accreditation standards at its meeting in December. Governor Jay Nixon has signed legislation which repeals a section of a bill passed by the General Assembly last spring and enacts a new section to address communications between school district employees and students. The law requires each school district to adopt a policy directed at the use of electronic communication between staff members and students. Districts also must draft their policies in a manner that will prevent improper communications. MSBA is developing a sample policy on the issue and will be distributing it to members in the next few weeks. School boards have until March 1, 2012 to adopt the policy. However, MSBA is sending the sample soon in order to allow school boards to meet with school district employees, parents, and others on the issue before adopting the policy. Well, it won't be long until filing opens for the April school board elections. Filing opens this year on December 13th in most school districts in the state and on December 20th in some school districts in the Kansas City area. Citizens with a sincere interest in their community's children and quality of their education are encouraged to consider running for the school board. In order to run for the school board, a candidate must be a citizen of the United States, a resident taxpayer of the school district, a resident of Missouri for at least 1 year, and at least 24 years old. Filing this year closes on January 17th. That's it for this month's edition of the MSBA Board Report. Thanks for allowing us to have some time at your board meeting, and so long from Columbia.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Beth. Also occurring last month, Dr. Welker and Board Member Don Call and I attended the regional meeting at St. Genevieve. And in addition to the talk about the fair tax thing, they also asked that districts around the state who are MSBA board members pass a resolution in support of the Vision Project, which is the document that came out of a committee consisting of superintendents and board members from around the state that more or less provides the strategic plan for DESE to come forward with. And if you'll note on the consent agenda that resolution is in there. And I've already mentioned the fair tax thing, so that's all I have. Thank you.
Paul, do you, it's not able to pull up the Vision project on the.
This is it.
Oh, okay. I was looking at on the when I'm trying to find information on the agenda. I couldn't.
How did you?
I couldn't. I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Click open a new window, maybe.
Yeah. Are you snickering at me? You know, I warned you. I told you guys this computer thing was going to cause me problems a year ago.
You've been doing so good, though. You even got your own computer.
All right. I have a paper copy, so I'm fine. Okay, sorry. Paul, thank you. Are you anything else? Thanks. Okay. Report from the Public School Foundation.
The only thing they have to report is upcoming event on February 4th is their annual penguin party, auction, and dinner at the Cape Country Club. And on their website, which you can get to by going to capeschools.org, there's a registration on there. So you can
February
sign up.
4th?
February 4th. And I believe it'll have a dinner, a live auction, and then dancing afterwards. Mike Rennick Band is a very good band. We'll play live, so it's always a good time.
Indeed.
It usually fills up pretty quickly, so if you're interested at all, whether you want to go individually as a family, you know, husband, wife, whatever, or as a table, you can do either. So.
And that's the biggest fundraiser for the foundation.
It is.
Yeah. Thank you. Next, we have the consent agenda items. Let's see. Consent agenda includes minutes and memoranda of previous meetings, October 17th, payment of bills, adopting the resolution to support Missouri Public Education Vision Project, adopting the resolution to authorize bond refunding, approval of term life insurance plan for 2012, and approval of dental insurance plan for 2012.
Second.
Paul, you still
Yes, I'll stick with
okay. Bill, second. Any discussion? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Consent agenda is approved. Next, business items. I'm going to try and do this right tonight. Let's see if it goes. Mess this up the past few times. Okay, first, we have some construction.
Not without being asked. He said I could help you. I said not without being asked.
Let me just try and do it on my own. Okay. First motion to be considered is to authorize the superintendent to negotiate a contract with Brockmiller Construction Company Incorporated to complete work category CM-1, General Works, bid package number 9, Central Middle School Building Addition and Renovation, with a cost of $599,000, and to execute the contract on behalf of the board.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, thank you. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none, all in favor?
Just
I'm sorry.
I just realized I neglected to put on there, I would like to have that motion reworded to say, with the acceptance of alternate number 4 as well, which is $29,000. Basically, what this is for is to provide a vestibule out of Blanchard, which creates that door lock. We don't currently have that door lock out there, and we were wanting to accept alternate number 4, and I neglected to put it on this motion here. That's where it belongs. So
Okay.
can we reword this to say, and including alternate number 4 in the general works package?
I would move to amend the motion.
Okay,
Second.
thank you. Any other discussion there? All in favor then of the amendment to add
Vestibule.
Sure.
Vestibule.
$29,000 vestibule.
alternate 4, I believe.
alternate 4
Is that a separate price? Or is that?
29,000.
in addition?
29,000. And it's to add the,
Blanchard door lock.
You said 4.
Alternate.
4.
You got it, Beth?
yeah, I just
Okay.
want to make sure I get it right.
Any other discussion? All right, all in favor then of that amendment, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay. The motion then, as amended, is to authorize the superintendent to negotiate a contract with Brockmiller Construction to complete work category CM-1, General Works, work package number 9, Central Middle School Building Addition and Renovation, with a cost of $599,000, and
Including alternate.
and to include alternate number 4 at a cost of $29,000, and to execute the contract on behalf of the board. Do we need a, I'm sorry, I'm lost. Do we need a,
We just voted
that's,
on it.
Nope, you got it.
we got it, okay. Any more discussion then? All in favor then, please say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Okay, amended motion carries. Next. Motion that to be considered then is to authorize the superintendent to negotiate a contract with Associated Sheet Metal to complete work category CM-2, plumbing and HVAC, bid package number 9, Central Middle School Building Addition and Renovation, with a cost of $123,000, and to execute the contract on behalf of the board.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Discussion.
Any additions?
Thank you. All right, hearing no discussion, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, motion carries. And lastly, the motion to be considered is to authorize the superintendent to negotiate a contract with Schneider Electric to complete work category CM-3, electrical bid, package number 9, Central Middle School Building Addition and Renovation, with a cost of $122,000, and to execute the contract on behalf of the board.
So moved.
Second.
Kyle, Tony, thank you. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, motion carries. Next, business item. Okay. Next motion is to be considered is to accept the 2010-2011 audit report prepared by Stanley Dernberger Hopper and Associates LLC.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. The board had a 30-minute discussion regarding this in our work session earlier. Any other questions regarding that? Okay. All in favor then of accepting the 2010-2011 audit report, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right. Audit is accepted. It was all good news. Thank you. Yes. Yeah, would you like to comment further?
Appreciate all the work of our staff, our business department, Misty and Lindsay, and all of our staff that worked with Patrick Kittner and his staff. I think it's actually been in the process for several months now, and so they go through a long process, and it was a clean audit, which is a good thing, and we appreciate all their hard work in getting that done.
Okay. Having trouble pulling up the.
It's not on there. There's nothing.
It's not on there. Do we have the wording, or is it just what's on here?
Which one?
The motion for the, it just would stay there on here. Okay, yeah, it is. Okay. Next motion to be considered is approval of the professional development plan for 2011-2012.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion there?
Would like to turn over to Dr. Copeland this time.
And not that I'm trying to get out of work, but I'm turning it over to Ms. Barb Egbert. And then I assume that you're going to have the members stand up and identify themselves.
Yes, I'm Barb Egbert. I'm the Professional Development Committee Chair. Members of our District Professional Development Committee are in attendance. Hard-working body of, and they do this voluntarily. They are also elected by their schools. Some background in our organization. The district PDC consists of at least one representative from each building, one from the tech department, which is Brian Hall, and an administrative liaison, which is Dr. Sherry Copeland. District PDC meets monthly to address issues at both the district and building levels. A regular newsletter is published, sharing professional activities and strategies, primarily focusing on the 4 embedded professional days in our calendar year. These building representatives then serve as chairs on their representative building professional committees, designing and implementing building plans to increase the student success according to collected data. Current plans include map and district benchmark data and correlate to the district's CSIP document. The format allows for reporting student progress and related professional development activities. This year's budget reflects our district's choice to allocate 1% of the foundation formula for educator development. We thank you. This allows for our district membership in the Regional Professional Development Council, supports a workday in the spring to review 2011-2012 activities and discuss plans for the upcoming year. Members also attend the MSDC conference to enhance professional development leadership, and then each building writes a plan to support the student success. The district plan also includes the Mentor Protege program. The importance of this endeavor is to train and retain highly efficient educators. Finally, principals and building representatives are here to answer any questions if you have them regarding our building plan. Finish?
I would just like, if you don't mind, several of the members I know, but our staff is very vast. So if you don't mind introducing your name and what building you're with, just for me, face with a name is tremendously helpful. Like I said, I know several, but.
I'm Nicole Burley of Goodyear High. Pat Cooper, Central High School. Ellen McCall, Alternative Education Center.
David Brown, Almstrader.
Maureen Huey at Franklin Elementary.
I'm Tim Schmidt from Langston.
Chrissy Creek from middle school. Kim Newman, I represent the Natural Center. Amy Baker, I represent. Larry Gregson.
Thank you.
I had a question, and thinking back, I don't think I was here last year, November meeting, but we used to have a written submission that came to the board for the various building PDCs.
I don't know, did we give them? We had a review of last year's plan.
I thought it was on there.
It should be on the,
And
There's nothing.
it's not.
nobody told me it wasn't on there.
It's not in the book.
Here it is.
It is on the website.
Yes.
It is published on the website.
It'd been nice if I'd been in
Oh,
the
absolutely.
thing. Because usually what I do is compare what you did last year to this year, because you seem to make adjustments, and I would have been able to ask you some questions about what your successes were and things, but as it is, I have to admit to being unprepared.
We could always come back next time if you have any questions or concerns.
And we do have the review and the PD plans are both on the website. I thought they were on loaded. Okay.
If y'all ever have
I
trouble
would-
pulling something up, if you'd let me know,
She makes a good point. We almost would have to move to table this because we're actually approving something we've never seen at this point.
Well, we are. Are you moving to?
Move to table this, move it to the next session.
Is there a
Is
second?
that- Are we facing any kind of timeline? We're not, okay.
No.
I'll second. Or Danica got it already?
Yeah, I noticed it wasn't on there, and I assumed I was doing something wrong.
all 7 of you assumed you were doing something.
No, I actually had some trouble downloading some things, so I figured this was, I know it's a lengthy document.
Yeah.
And I figured, well, I'm fighting the internet and it's not coming
The
through.
thing of it is I mean, none of it is, is showing, and I didn't realize it. I spot checked them, but I got this one kind of late, so I just did it quickly and did yours the next thing.
Basically, the technology kind of bothers all of us, so we assumed it was us.
Well, so the motion is to table till the
no, to
next,
postpone.
till the next meeting, and I don't see any need for the whole committee to reconvene at that time, unless, I assume you'd be able to. Okay, well, I guess we need to vote, all in favor then of tabling the,
Postponement.
is it tabling or postponing?
Table means you're going to take it up later in this session.
In this session.
Postpone means you're going to take it up at the next meeting.
Then the motion then would be.
To postpone.
Need to be to postpone this discussion of this plan until next month. Okay, all in favor then of that postponement? Say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right. Thank you all. Thank you for your work.
Thanks again.
I'm sorry about that glitch. No, I think it was multiple people not up here, not discussing that problem. So we apologize for not being able to cover that tonight.
Do you want to know where it is on the website, just in case you want to run home and look it
Well,
up?
yeah, that'd be.
It is actually on, if you go to our website and then go to departments, curriculum and assessment, and then you will look down in curriculum and assessment to professional development. And then on the professional development page, you will see PD plans. And then you will also see the mentor protege program, which there's a review and the plans are on both those.
So all of that is located.
All
there.
that is right there under curriculum and assessment, under departments, and then scroll down the left-hand side of the page to professional development, and then the PD plans are right in the center. Okay.
There's only 103 pages.
I said
we work hard. Okay.
That's why I had last year's and this year's.
Well, I apologize again. That I certainly overlooked that, so we will get it straightened out and get that dealt with. That is our last business item. Information proposals from board members. Anything folks to add?
I've got something, and it kind of relates to all these folks doing their professional development. Some of them I saw at a meeting earlier in the month. The School Performance Institute, is that correct?
School Planning.
School Planning Institute, SPI. Part of the original meetings were that the principals and participants were asked to invite a board member to come. And Principal Orr invited me, and I attended. And I encourage all of you, if you're invited by a principal, to try to make time to do it. It's about 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., so it's a big time commitment, and I know that's hard if you're working. But I was impressed with the quick and open sharing from table to table as the different schools addressed different problems, but they were problems they'd already analyzed and Found a lot of the data that was mentioned in the program evaluation by Dr. Copeland for the professional development, that they're encouraging more of that, and they're already launched on doing that, they're analyzing the data to identify real problems, not just things they think are a problem to some of the schools. So if you get the chance, by all means, participate. Thank you.
Thanks. Anything else?
I'd just like to say, too, following up with that, I mean, it's obvious, and this isn't the first year, but the amount of work that goes into a professional development. Anybody that levels a criticism against our staff, that they're not interested in self-development and furthering the quality of our children's education, they just don't know. They don't know our teachers, and they don't know to the extent that they go. And I would just like to say I appreciate all you do.
Anything else? Okay, then I will entertain a motion to move to executive session to consider employee issues pursuant to section 610.021, paragraph 3 of the revised statutes of Missouri.
So moved.
Second.
Tony? Thanks. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor then, please say aye. Danica? Aye.
Aye.
Yes.
Yes?
Aye.
Yes.
Thank you. We are now in closed session. Thank you all for attending tonight.